So yesterday, while everybody was busy sleeping and enjoying their Christmas nights, the United States military arrived finally and conducted what I can call a sweeping, massive airstrikes in the country. In fact, precisely northwest. And Donald Trump said that this is just the beginning. Now listen to the full details of the attacks they carried out yesterday.
The U.S. President Donald Trump has said that the United States has launched what he called, quote-unquote, powerful and deadly strikes against Islamic State in northwestern Nigeria.
And in a post on Truth Social, the U.S. President accused the Islamic State of targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians.
And this is without providing details that Trump said the Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes on Christmas Day against IS targets.
Now, according to the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center, IS West Africa was formed in 2015 when Boko Haram pledged allegiance to Islamic State. The branch, according to the U.S., attacks regional military targets, civilian defense forces, and also frequently hits government personnel and infrastructure along with Christians.
Now, the attacks mark the first by U.S. forces in Nigeria under Trump and comes after the U.S. president warned the West African nation in October and November, saying Christians there faced an existential threat that amounted to genocide and Nigeria's myriad armed conflicts. Now, Reuters report on Monday said that the U.S. had been conducting intelligence gathering flights over the large ports of Nigeria since late November.
Right, and confirming this strike, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth followed up with a post on X, thanking the Nigerian government for its support and cooperation and vowing that there are more to come.
Now, a post by U.S. Africa on X confirmed the strikes and said they were carried out in Sokoto State at the request of Nigerian authorities.
Nigerian Foreign Ministry has confirmed precision hits on terrorist targets in Nigeria by airstrikes. In a statement, the ministry said that the authorities remain engaged in a structured security cooperation with international partners, including U.S. in addressing the persistent threat of terrorism and violent extremism.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, to discuss more on this, we are now being joined by Asha Castleberry from Washington, D.C. She is a U.S. national security and foreign policy expert. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's great to see you. Now, we know very little about these strikes, and of course, we know that the Nigerian authority is, of course, with the U.S. in these attacks. Now, what we know is that President Trump did label Nigeria as a country of particular concerns, and this comes even as human rights have been saying that it cuts across these, these violence cuts across different faiths. How do you interpret these strikes?
Well, we're not surprised that these strikes actually happened. We started to see a follow-up within the last several weeks where at the United Nations we saw a significant diplomacy press conference that was coordinated by U.S. Ambassador to the UN as well as hip-hop artist Nicki Minaj condemning the attacks towards Christians in terms of Muslims in Nigeria. And then it was reiterated at a Republican convention. Then also we've been seeing these ongoing tweets from POTUS who has pretty much expressed deep concerns about this. So I feel that it's not surprising. However, when you look at it too, it is more symbolic. It happened on Christmas. Some are characterized as the Christmas night strikes. So I think there's a lot of just symbolism when it comes to doing it on Christmas.
Absolutely, Ms. Castleberry, and the symbolism is hard to ignore here. And we know that the strikes were announced with very few operational details, as we've just discussed. Now, this is alongside hints that there may be more to come. And now, having said that, how do you view this? At this point, is it pointing towards a deeper U.S.-Nigeria alignment here, or is Washington trying to see how far it can go?
Well, what we've seen as far as a pattern is that with this leadership, they start off aggressive and then they try to maneuver into diplomacy. So I think their first approach is let's get aggressive, let's use defense, and then maybe the defense will lead to diplomacy where we can, come to the table with the Nigerian government as well as ISIS leaders to address this. But there better be a good reason why we are using defense over diplomacy, just based on the threat assessment. If all options have been exhausted as far as using diplomacy, then maybe there's a good justification. But I think that what you'll see is, starting off very strong in terms of defense, and then maybe leading to diplomacy. Since we're seeing that this president's so into achieving a peace negotiation or Nobel Peace Prize, So for the most part, it is aggressive, and the utilization of airstrikes is costly, especially when we're looking at the fact that we are in a affordability crisis, and we are in a huge deficit. So when it comes to utilizing airstrikes, we have to be a lot more sophisticated. So I'm hoping that, you know what, all the options were off the table, and pretty much this is the only one.
And we talk about these attacks that you also talked about how the symbolism of Christianity is there. But beyond this, is there any other, or is that the only goal that Trump has, or there's any other goal that Trump might have into getting over with these strikes and any other step that they want to take with Nigeria? Any trade deal, anything that he might be thinking of?
Yes, there's speculation that it's just another country that has a significant equities when it comes to oil, just like Venezuela. So there's a lot of speculation that could lead to that in terms of interest on expanding more influences regarding the oil fields or oil markets there. Also, too, there's a level of aggression when it comes to these countries that are in the global south. We're just seeing that looking at the Venezuela issue, now we're seeing this in Nigeria. There's a level of aggression. So I think it's just more behavioral, and also there's economic interest involved in this as well.
All right. Well, of course, we'll have to wait and see what kind of these attacks these were. Of course, we don't have the first details for that. But thank you so much for analyzing this for us, and Ms. Castleberry, for joining us on the show and giving your perspective.
Thank you.